There's not much you can do while in quarantine except for look out from the balcony and look at the world outside. This is what I'm gonna do, and over the course of the day I'm gonna show you different things which are happening all outside my balcony. That's the plant seller. He wants to sell some plants, some beautiful Christmas trees. That was the kabadi wala, a guy who basically buys all the scrap from all the houses, and you can basically get rid of all your scrap and get some money for it. If you're looking for carpets, just go outside your house and grab it from the carpet seller on wheels. That's the life of a street dog in New Delhi. Well taken care of by the residents of the colony and providing dog with a jacket. The most beautiful tree close to my house. It's a big tree with a lot of fruits. These fruits are actually called bale. Bale in Hindi and Bengali. But these fruits are really good for digestion. If you have some stomach problems, you can just drink the juice of this fruit or eat it as a fruit, and it's really good for your stomach. It looks like my house is surrounded by so many birds of all kinds, mostly pigeons, I guess, and of course there are lots of crows as well. But it's just a beautiful place for all the birds, and you can hear constantly the birds chirping all day. It's really beautiful. Sabzi wala is here. Fresh selection of vegetables. Well, the fruit seller is here. So what have we got there? We have papita, we have santra, papaya, oranges, pomegranate. We have bananas, and I think amrud. Amrud is kind of a pear, Indian pear. And I'm not sure what else is there, but maybe some kind of berries called jamun. Yeah, different kinds of fruits. So forgot to mention that there are some grapes and also some apples. I'm not sure what these big ones on the bottom right are. Maybe melons. So now the vegetable seller. You can see beautiful cauliflowers and cabbage. These are the vegetables of the winter season in New Delhi. The rich guys of New Delhi all have some people who are ready to offer their services. For example, the car cleaner. You will hardly find such a person in Germany. It's quite a pleasant surprise to see people wearing masks and obeying the laws which are set by the government. fog is almost over now. It's close to midday, and the day has become quite nice now. It was a bit windy in the morning, and a bit cold in the morning, but now it is quite warm in the sun. As you can see, the street is still a little bit busy, with some people going along with the business of the days. There are always some guys on carts selling a few things like fruits and vegetables, and here you can see one of the guys just going through the lane with an empty cart. It's probably here to collect something. That street over there, you can find some kind of a last mile connectivity from that street. You can see those kind of motored vehicles, battery operated vehicles, which you can take from that street, and they would connect you to the nearest metro station, and then you can take the metro to go to different places in New Delhi. So metro is more like a subway or a train connection, which in Germany would be probably equivalent to the U-Bahns. A lazy afternoon in winters of Delhi. It's really enjoyable sitting in the balcony and soaking in the sun. You can see one of the female drivers of India who said that females are not on the road and cannot drive. Well, they are not really that common, at least on Indian roads in New Delhi. Maybe they are more common in places like Gujarat, but yeah, now and then you can always see some females riding a two-wheeler or a cycle or a car. I think cars are more common because females usually find cars a bit more safer than riding a two-wheeler. There are a couple of guys coming over there from riding a scooty, and of course they're not adhering to the social norms. They're pretty close together. No, there's no 1.5 meter between them, but they're trying to wear masks. That's how the life goes on in New Delhi with Corona. People are still trying to go ahead with their lives in this pandemic. That school right in front of my house is closed right now. It is a school which is meant for students up to probably first standard or something like that. It's a primary school, so really small kids are studying over there, or were studying over there, not really at the present moment because of the Corona situation. And yeah, it was, I think, till last year when I came here, I used to hear lots of noises from the kids. They're playing in the playground or just making noise and having fun. But this year it's completely noiseless. There's no noise coming from this school. Most of the schools in India have been closed down due to Corona, and they're mostly having online lessons, as probably is similar in rest of the world, also in Germany. It's pretty hard for the students to concentrate on their studies by Zoom classes or online classes. I really feel for the students. I was very lucky to have been to have studied in a time where there was no Corona, and we could go to schools and just have fun with all the students, all the colleagues. So we have delivery for mineral water bottles. Of course, as you know that in India we cannot drink the water directly out of the taps. So people usually order these bottled waters, which are usually in the packs of 10 liters or so, and delivered straight to your homes. wonderful afternoon to have lunch. And as you can see, some people are having lunch in their balconies, enjoying the sun in this winter day. In front of my house is this beautiful mesh of wires. Can you spot the one which is coming to my house? It's apparently obeying the Kirchhoff's law of electricity. Some people have beautiful terrace gardens or roof gardens or balcony gardens in their house. One of those is just next to my house. One of the common sights in India is people hanging their clothes for drying in their balconies. I'm not sure if such scenes are possible to see in Europe, because people are usually drying their clothes inside their homes or in the bathroom or in the washing room. So not many houses have clothes hanging right outside their houses. And also another thing is that there's not much sun available in Germany, so people are basically not able to dry them on the balcony like in India. Probably this is a common scene in places, a bit warmer places like Rome or Italy in general, close towards the Mediterranean. Maybe people are hanging their clothes more often there on their balcony. That was the ironing guy. The houses in New Delhi or places in India usually have an ironing guy who irons out the clothes, and he lives usually very close to residential colonies like the one which I am living in. And what he usually does is he goes to people and he collects clothes, irons them out in his small shop, and then returns them back for a very small price. Very efficient, wouldn't you say? Something interesting to observe on the rooftops of Indian houses are these tanks. Everywhere you see there are tanks and tanks. And what these tanks are basically are that the government is not able to provide water continuously in all the homes in New Delhi because of the lack of water. And because of the low pressure in Delhi, all the people in the neighborhood are basically using a pump to store the water and to store it in the overhead tanks, so that they can use this water for their daily use. The friendly neighborhood dog out for a stroll. So there are lots of dogs in India who basically live on the streets. And the story behind them is that the government is unable to take care of all these dogs because they just don't have the resources to take care of them. And therefore, these dogs are left to just live their life on the roads. People in the residential colonies like such usually provide clothes or jackets in winters and food. So the basic sustenance of these dogs are met. However, they're not really vaccinated, and they are sometimes also dangerous to people who are just walking, because they can just bite random people. So it's not the most well managed of situations, but somehow life just goes on in India. Right, guys, I'm gonna sign off today. The sun is hidden now behind the trees, so I'm just gonna go and have my lunch, and I hope you enjoyed the video and you could get a glimpse of the life in quarantine in New Delhi of 2020. and hopefully I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.